Greetings once again. This is Pastor Daniel as we are concluding the message of coexistence. It's a dangerous coexistence. We really need to look out. Thank you, and please listen and share this message. It might help someone. Thank you.
Swear and gave his blessings to Jacob willingly. Putting that animal skin is just a makeup, it's just to fulfill the righteousness. Because it's the truth. You have already sold your birthright. And as they were growing, Esau was cunning. He was thinking, I will con him and eat his porridge and get it back. No, Esau, it doesn't work like that. That's how goats think. Goats, sometimes they think without sense. They think without brain. Do you remember in Igbo adage that says, how? An evil child that entered the mother's womb from the backyard is a good child. Yes, is the seed of the wicked one. Is the children of the wicked one. They can be your child, they can be your husband, they can be your wife. Look at what Sarah did to Abraham. Turned Abraham into sleeping with maid. Turned the maid into casting them away without Sarah having any remorse. What will happen to a woman that have given birth to a child? A slave that have no destination. What will happen to Ishmael that is still a baby? Sarah never considered this thing. And wow, will my husband sleep knowing that his seed is out there in the wilderness? Sarah didn't consider that, and she's calling her husband my Lord. That is a deception. Everyone should think again. When you want to say, ask your wife to be like Sarah, that call her husband my Lord. Think again. Your wife must not be like Sarah. Otherwise, you will find yourself in a hot soup like Abraham did. Because I'm sure after Ishmael and Haggai went to wilderness, Abraham was passing through sleepless night because Ishmael happened to be his seed. And Abraham knew that Haggai is an innocent girl, that he might be the one that broke the virgin and be the one that have done everything and still allow this girl to be wicked with the baby that is his own blood. I'm sure Abraham was not fine, and this woman claimed, I'm calling my husband my Lord, and you are putting that man under torment. We should think again who really Sarah is. That's why children of God should open their eyes. We need discerning spirit even when we read the Bible. And we need discerning spirit to know, who are you living with? Is your wife a goat or a sheep? Is your husband a goat or a sheep? Your director, who are they? You need to help yourself. The general overseer of their church, do you know why he never stopped asking you for money? Do you know why he is never satisfied? It's because he's a goat. He's a gold digger. Exactly. He is competing to buy a private jet with gold celebrities. Do you know that some of these celebrities are goats? Yes, they are goats. Their wicked father have given them that money. They will buy big private jets, but go close to them and see the kind of life they live. They sleep with their fellow man. Some of them sleep with animals. They make sacrifice of human beings. You go close to them, bad things will happen to you. They will demoralize you. But they are celebrity. Their car is shining. Their beauty is shining. Their skin is shining. They are famous. But they are celebrity goats. They are he-goat celebrities. They are she-goat celebrities. Children of the wicked ones. They flash dollars. They flash pounds. They have properties all over. They are reigning in Dubai. And you, pastor, you want to join them. You want to buy private car too, private jet. You want to buy private everything. You are trying to compete with celebrities that are goats, and you call yourself a man of God. Let me tell you something. Everybody should begin to examine himself right now. Yes. Every child of the kingdom should start to examine yourself right now. Are you a he-goat general overseer? Are you a he-goat director of a company? Are you a he-goat owner of a school? Are you a he-goat husband? Are you a he-goat father? Who can even sleep with his own daughter. Oh my God. Are you a he-goat man who can sleep with your fellow man? Do you know? Yes. When a he-goat see a sheep that is not a goat, the he-goat will not go. But you call yourself a human being. That is how you will know how goatish you are. For you to know how goatish you are, so goatish, you have a lot of goat in you that when you were born, you were even born with the hair, with goat hair, like a wolf. That is why you want to sleep with your fellow man and you consider it the right thing to do. Yes, America can permit you to marry your fellow man, and then because America has permitted you, you think you are doing the right thing. Let me tell you, you are children of the wicked one. For you to have the confidence to sleep with your fellow man, whatever that is triggering you to do that, is a symbol that you are a goat. Children of God, children of the kingdom, let me tell you the truth. If your wife happen to be a goat, you need to escape. It's not called divorce, it's called escape. Because you need to run for your life. If your husband is a he-goat, you need to escape. You don't need to divorce. No. Divorce will take you time. Divorce is a process, it's a court procedure. The court can do their thing. You need to escape. Because let me tell you, they will kill you. You want to know how? The same way they killed Samson. The same way they killed Ahab. The same way they killed Abraham. By the way, let us take this story straight to the Garden of Eden. Who is Eve? We will talk about that on our next section. But let me give you some hints. Who is Eve? Oh, come on, man. Adam fell into a deep sleep and wake up, and this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. And then what happened? The same bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh betrayed you. Eve, how can you have a meeting with snake at the back of your husband? You know, one thing is to read the Bible, another thing is to interpret it. Remember, we are talking about the coexisting. When we coexist, they betray us. Whether in the name of a father, in the name of a mother, you coexist with your godfather. Your godfather will rape you. Betrayer. You coexist with your godmother. Your godmother will mislead you. Your godmother will push you to go and do your yahoo. Your godmother will push you to go and do rituals. Your godmother will push you to go and make evil money. Your godmother will push you to rebel against your father. Your godmother will push you to fight your father. You know how women deceive their children against their father? Those women are goats. They know that the blessings of children come from their father, but they will deceive their children to rebel against their father, to fight against their father. Why? Their job is to betray you. They are goats. Their mission is to make sure that you are destroyed. Open your eyes, child of God. Children of the kingdom, how long is it going to take you? Don't tell me it's the same mother with me. Don't tell me it's my mother that born me. Don't tell me it's my father that born me. Don't tell me it's my parents. They can be parent goats. Just look at what happened to Rebecca. She's having two nations. And when she born the two nations, two of them started fighting. One wanted to kill each other. In the Garden of Eden again, Cain killed Abel. But before Cain killed Abel, what meeting was Eve having with snake? Is a woman supposed to have a meeting with a stranger at the back of her husband. Secret meeting. That's why Jesus said in the book of Matthew 13, I will speak in parable the secret that occur from the foundation of the world. From the foundation started from the Garden of Eden. If, what meeting were you having with snake? If, have to explain. And after that meeting, according to the Bible, you consume a particular fruit with the snake. A fruit you have never consumed with your husband before. A fruit that your husband was told not to eat, because I don't think you were told not to eat that fruit. If you were not told not to eat that fruit, if you were told, you will obey. Adam was told not to eat that fruit. If you went and ate that fruit with snake and end up convincing Adam to eat the same fruit, who are you, Eve? And at the end of the day, you give birth to Cain. And the Bible says, and Adam said, blessed be the name of the Lord who has given me a man. That is how Adam prayed when Cain was born. He described Cain as a man. Now look at the two babies in the womb of Rebekah. God is describing the two babies as two nations. Now look at Jesus saying, when I come as the Son of God in my glory, I will gather all the nations before me, and I will put the sheep by my right hand, and I will put the goats by my left hand. Can you imagine the two nations in the womb of Rebekah is sheep and goats? Can you imagine the two boys that was asked to sacrifice to God in the Garden of Eden, Cain and Abel, is sheep and the goats? Oh my God. If you are a child of God, if you are a child of the kingdom, and you find out you are trapped by these people, the children of the wicked one, let me tell you something. The church have deceived us a lot. There have been a lot of binding and casting. Every day, bind, cast, bind, cast. Your wife is Obanje. Your wife is from the water. Your husband is Papi water. Your wife is Mani water. Let me tell you the truth. And we are casting. You are going to the river to do some rituals. You are going to native doctors to do some rituals, to appease some demons. You are going to church for deliverance. Listen to me. Bring your eyes down. This teaching will clear your head, will open your eyes, will awaken you. You will know what you are dealing with. When you have the children of the wicked one as your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your children, your wife, your husband, you are in a very big trouble. Because the gods, the children of the wicked one, children of the wicked ones, they don't feel remorse. They don't know anything called remorse. That is why we really need to be very, very careful. Let me explain something to you. If you go to the book of Luke 23 from verse 39, you know what the Bible says? Luke 23:39. The Bible says, when Jesus was crucified, right there on the cross, Jesus was crucified with other two criminals, with other two thieves. Now, I want you to begin to understand very, very well about goats and sheep. Because the goats and sheep explanation makes it easier for us to be able to discern human beings. For us to be able to discern human beings, you must use this particular scale to measure human beings. It's either you are a goat or you are a sheep, because their manifestation is always the same. Their fruit, the Bible said, by their fruit we shall know them. So their fruits are always the same. Let me explain. Right there on the cross, we are two thieves, two criminals, two offenders. And the one at the middle, Jesus Christ, he did not do anything. They just brought him there out of wickedness and cruelty, and also according to God's program. But now listen to me. There was a full manifestation of goats and sheep right there on the cross of Calvary. Do you know that the goat immediately showed himself on the cross because they don't feel remorse? Look at this criminal. He has just committed a crime and he is being punished according to the law that whoever that committed social crime will be hanged on the tree, on the cross. And that day he was being crucified for the crime he committed. The thief on the on the left side of Jesus Christ, on his left hand side, is a thief, a criminal. And on his right hand side is also a criminal, a thief. That is something I want us to understand here, children of the kingdom. Children of God, listen and open your eyes. These people manifest themselves anywhere they are. Wherever they find themselves, they manifest themselves there without wasting time. Look at these two on the cross now. Can I explain something here? The thief on the left immediately manifested himself because the people that crucified Jesus, they were mocking him. If you know you are the king of the Jew, if you know you are the savior, or you save yourself, that was the topic of the mockery. They would say it and they laugh. That is what the crowd was saying. That is what the people that crucified him were saying. That is what everybody was saying. And you know what these goats did on the cross? Do you know why I call him goat? Forgive me about that. But listen, whenever I describe humans as goat, know ye is from the Bible, not because I am being rude. I just want to make these two categories of people very clear to you. What the thief on the left hand side of Jesus said is, you call yourself Messiah. Why can't you save yourself now? You save others and you cannot save yourself. Save yourself and save us if really you are. You see how he also mocked Jesus with other goats that crucified Jesus. Because don't tell me that those ones that lie against Jesus and crucify him, that they are not goats. No, they are. That's why Jesus said that all that God has given him, he has saved them, except the son of perdition, which is Judas. And Judas left and went and betrayed Jesus. Did you see? Yes. Judas is a goat. It's very simple. They don't feel remorse. Even though Judas felt remorse, but he still felt remorse and went and killed himself. Though that was according to the curse laid on whosoever that would betray the Son of Man. Now let me explain something to you. This goat on the cross, a criminal who committed a crime, began to insult Jesus with the people who crucified him. And then the sheep on the right hand of Jesus rebuked him and said, shut up your mouth, you criminal like me. Have you forgotten that you and I, we are criminal? We committed a crime that brought us to this cross. Yeah, we are on this cross by the crime we committed. Shut up and stop insulting Jesus, the Son of the living God, who has done nothing. Out of wickedness and the cruelty of men, they crucified him, but God allowed that. And then he turned around and said to Jesus, sir, my Savior, please remember me when you go to your kingdom. And Jesus said immediately to him, my sheep hears my voice, and I hears the voice of my sheep. You know, when a goat speaks, Jesus never said a word. Jesus did not respond to the goat. And that is why some of us, listen to me, it's high time you stop responding to some goats around you. Yes, if you have some goats around you, when they manifest, when they behave, when they show their character, it's high time we stop responding. Very, very important. It's high time we stop responding. Yes, Jesus did not respond to the goat, but he responded to the sheep, because my sheep hears my voice. And he said to the sheep, today you and I will be in paradise. And that was how it was, and it is, and it will always be. Today you and I will be in paradise. Now let me explain something to you before I conclude. Whenever the goat manifests, there is always a significant destruction. Everyone listen very well. Wherever goats manifest, there will always be a significant destruction and distraction and confusion, destabilization and punishment. In every environment where the goats find themselves. Let me explain to you right now, so that you can monitor all the environment around you and know if there's any goat around. All you need to do is to acknowledge it and know how to manage it. Because let me tell you something, even Jesus, God himself, is aware of the goat and the sheep. Jesus, who came to this earth, he is aware of the goat and the sheep, and he told us there is a secret. There is something that happened from the foundation of the creation. There was a contamination. That is what he revealed in parable. The sheep and the goat. He that planted a good seed, and he that planted an evil seed. The children of the kingdom and the children of the wicked one. That was a secret from the beginning of this earth. And if you can acknowledge it and forget about Muslim, Christian, Hindu, pagan, this and that, you only supposed to focus on two kinds of religion and two kinds of worship. And what kind of worship is this? It's either you are worshiping like a sheep or you are worshiping like a goat. Because put all the religions together, they are all doing one thing in one way or the other. But the only thing that differentiates them is this is a goat and this is sheep. You know what? You see the goats in the church. You see the sheep in the church. You see the goat in Muslim. You see the sheep in Muslim. You see the goat in Hindu. You see the sheep in Hindu. You see the goat in pagan. You see the sheep in pagan. Church, stop deceiving yourself. If you think that it's inside the church alone that the sheep are, no. And the goat is outside the church. No, inside that church there are goats, there are sheep. Outside the church there are goats and there are sheep. For example, Jesus came to the church, for example, and the 5 was foolish and 5 was wise. I mean the virgin. So when he took the 5 virgin from the church, so where is he going to get the other 5? They are outside that organization. They are outside that gathering place. They are outside that religious place where they thought they were waiting for him. That is how you have to understand that the sheep is scattered all over the world. They are not specifically your religion. They are not specifically your denomination. They are not specifically your style. So that is why I want to explain this to you all, so that you can look out and know, where are the goats in my life? Because let me tell you, whether you like it or not, everybody have a piece of goats. Yes, if Rebecca can have 2 nations in her womb, yes, that means something is wrong somewhere. You just need to look out. Let me explain to you. Wherever they go to manifest, they must cause those distractions I just mentioned. Let me explain to you. When they manifest in family, as brothers, they will kill their brother. That is what happened in Garden of Eden. Because God will always identify the sheep by special wisdom, by receiving his sacrifice, and the goat will always be angry. So goat will always kill the sheep. That is what happened in the Garden of Eden. And when Rebecca, the wife of Isaac, got pregnant and had a big trouble in her womb, she had a big trouble in her womb that made her to go and seek the face of God. God told her, the trouble you're having in your womb is because you have 2 nations. They are already fighting inside your womb. One of them is looking like a wolf. When he was born with red hair, and his name is Esau. And one of them is called Jacob. These are the 2 nations in the womb of Rebecca. And then you knew everything that happened between Esau and Jacob. And at the end of the day, Jacob had to run away from the house. Yes, that is when they go to manifest in the families. And they do manifest in the families through your wife. You can understand it in the Garden of Eden. Eve gave birth of Cain and Abel. In the life of Abraham, they manifested Ishmael and Isaac from the same man. Yes. And you know what happened? Ishmael was sent out of the house. And do you know why? Because the goat is manifesting in the family again as a wife. You see what they do when they are brothers? When they are wife, they will do to you what Sarah did to Abraham. They will push you to go and sleep with maid. They will make you to be sexually unfaithful by not offering what a wife is supposed to offer. Yes. They will make sure that you are shortage, so that you will always look for a way to fill that gap, and then from there you will go astray. Do you know why? The goats don't have what it takes. Yes. They will only cause trouble and confusion in your life and create a wide problem that only God can help you to come out of it. When they manifest as a wife, they will do to you what they did to Delilah. To Samson. Yes. When they manifest as a wife, they will do to you what Delilah did to Samson. When they manifest as a wife, they will do to you what Jezebel did to Ahab. I want you to think about all these things and know how to protect yourself, because God is everywhere. And even Jesus said that when I come back in my glory, I am not going to walk with this mixed multitude. I am going to separate the goat from the sheep, and then I will put the goats where they belong, and then I will put the sheep where they belong. So now, but until that time, you that is alive, you that is the children of the kingdom, you that is a child of God, please, I want you to help yourself and put the goats where they belong. You don't need to respond every time they're talking. You don't need to give your energy. They are like vampires. They just want to drain you. Their problems are problems you can never solve. Yes, I'm telling you, you think that it was easy with Samson? Remember, Delilah cut the fingernails first, from the fingernails to the hair. You think they will give you gap? No, they will mount pressure on you until you defect, until you become a slave to their greed and to their evil plans, until they destroy you. When they manifest as a president, oh my God, that nation is finished. Do you know what they will do? They will finish that nation. They will do exactly what Nigeria is going through. Nigeria was in pain, and a president came in, and all the president can do was to remove the subsidy. Do you know what subsidy means? Subsidy is to subsidize the people who cannot be able to afford petrol, so that the petrol price can be on a level that the masses can purchase it and survive. There's no 24 hours electricity. Everybody is based on generator. Even the electric cars and the things other nations are using, we don't have much of them here because we don't have 24 hours electricity. And the only fuel people are using to help themselves for their local industries. A president come in and remove the subsidy and buy a new jet for himself and buy a new yacht for himself and begin to, extravagantly spend money rather than looking at the people. And now the people are suffering. Fuel is 1,000 plus. Everybody is complaining. Hunger all over. That is what a wicked president can give you. A wicked president will increase your tax. A wicked president will destabilize that nation. That nation will be totally destroyed if the people did not rescue their nation from him. Oh my God. Nigeria, open your eyes. Your nation has been handed over to a God's president, and you really need to wake up and know what to do about it. If the goats become a king, you know what the Bible says in the book of Proverbs 29 verse 2. Proverbs 29 verse 2, the Bible says, when the righteous is in authority, when the righteous is on the throne, the people rejoice. He will reduce the tax. He will manage the country very well, and the people will benefit. And that is what Peter Obi, a presidential candidate, is trying to do. But he is not allowed, because that man is an economist. That man wants the people to produce, because when you produce, you will be richer. You can have enough and then sell. But when you are always a consumer, you will consume and consume and consume yourself one day. When the wicked is on the throne, the people cry because of mismanagement and greed. They are never satisfied of what they will get. When the gods manifest in business, that is when they kill their business partner. That is when they eat and then deny you of your profit. That is when they do everything. That is why be very careful who you do business with. Be very careful who is your business partner. Be very careful who is your wife. Be very careful who is your children. Be very careful who is your husband. When you discover an atom of gold in anyone around you, listen to me. Don't tell me, no, it's my uncle. No, it's my boss. The only thing you need to do is to be very careful and know how to save your life, because these people, they will destroy you. Look at the two thieves. In your evil, you can never have a remorse. That is the full character of the goods. Whenever you have a child that can never have a remorse, whenever you have a wife that can never have a remorse, whenever you have a president that can never have a remorse, whenever you have a king that can never have a remorse, that don't have an impact, that can never feel the pain in others, that is how to know the children of the wicked ones. Whenever your wife is full of greed, be very careful with such a woman. Children of God, children of the kingdom, this dangerous coexistence, you need wisdom to survive it. And I wish you the wisdom of God, because I know many of you are in danger already. 2026, open your eyes and solve your problem directly as Jesus did. Check your right, check your left, and know who to speak to. If you have found the goats, or you have left, whatever noise she's making, or he's making, or they're making, all the goats on your left, don't respond, don't waste your energy. But if you have seen a sheep by your right, when they speak, you will know who they are. You can respond. Be sensitive. Be sensitive. Thank you.